FIA Connect ended on a high, addressing future-proofing for our industry as the third day covered the issues that may be holding it back. Diversity, digitalisation and skills. An innovation survey published this week from PwC Aerospace said more than 20% of companies still have no plans to introduce a diversity and inclusion strategy, something the UK's Under-Secretary of State for Transport, Robert Courts, said has to change, with a grassroots revolution needed. Transformation from the ground up will be needed to build a diverse skill set to help aerospace and defence solve its biggest challenges, he said.
Now, we know that lack of diversity remains a significant issue within the aviation sector. That's why we've launched something called the Reach for the Sky programme. That happened in 2019 and tends to inspire a new, more diverse generation to join up. This applies from people from BAME backgrounds, LGBTQI+, disabled, those for lower socioeconomic backgrounds. The aim of the programme is to produce a skilled, varied, sustainable workforce fit to seize the opportunities of the future. Reach for the Sky aims to attract underrepresented groups, and particularly young people, to careers in aviation by addressing financial and wider social barriers and creating new opportunities for the sector.
Gender imbalance and a lack of diversity is still prevalent across businesses in the UK, and aerospace is no exception. In the opening session, women leaders discussed their experiences as outliers within a male-dominated sector.
So I knew I was as good as the rest of them. And what I had to cope with are, jokes. If God wanted you to fly, he would have made the sky pink. Those kind of funny comments. And you get that a lot. But I don't really blame them. It's really a social problem.
Christine Anchevry, Senior Manager of Digital Industry at Airbus, was keen to push the business case for diversity away from just being about women and men and towards creating a balanced workforce which reflects society, as well as discussing the female superpowers which can make companies more competitive. They talked about initiatives such as role modelling and mentoring, which can encourage more girls and young women to consider industry careers.
I think I probably get quite frustrated that we're still talking about this, because we've been talking about it for a very long time and we are making progress, but it is very, very slow. And, the biggest argument for me really is we need those skills. Why wouldn't we do as much as we can to bring the levels up in the numbers of women that come into our industries? It just makes very obvious sense to me.
But according to IATA Director General Willie Weish, speaking in the Challenging Together panel in association with the Women in Aviation and Aerospace Charter, action needs to be earlier than perhaps many companies imagine.
Aer Lingus ran a big recruitment campaign specifically to attract more women into the role of pilot and engineer. But they had a trainee pilot scheme. They got 7,610 applications, so fantastic number of applicants. 6,981 were men, 629 were women. So 11 to 1 in favour of men. And if we can't succeed in getting equal representation at the application stage, then it's going to take us a lot longer than 40 years to get to equal representation.
Panellists faced a lively feed of questions from delegates. Many were frustrated at the pace of change and wanted to see the industry speed up, putting words into actions. But education is surely the answer.
Most boys, by the time they reach 12, know that they want to be a pilot. It didn't even figure in any of the girls' thinking at school age level. And the saying is, you can't be what you can't see. So that's when we started on the recruitment drive. And guess what? Then there was less than 6% of the pilot workforce as female. So the challenge was by 2020 to have 20% of all new entrants as women. And pre-pandemic, I know that they were well on the way to achieving this.
The final panel, looking at bridging that gap from the classroom to the boardroom, sought solutions.
the mindset is changing, but you know, it was always seen as kind of quite an elitist kind of market to get into, and breaking down those barriers, not just within sort of for students, but also for like parents and carers and teachers, to show them, yeah, it is a viable career, it's an exciting career for anybody.
Well, let's hope that by the time we get to the in-person Farnborough International Air Show next July, and we get the live Connect sessions, we're going to be seeing those changes having taken place and actually happening. Of course, if you've missed any of the sessions, you know you can catch up with them through the Farnborough Connect on demand channel. And of course, you can keep up with the latest news with us on wearefin.com. Thank you for watching.